Hey, listen, so your state exam is just around the corner. I want to share a real estate term that I want you to know, and that real estate term is, drum roll please, prescriptive easement, also known as easement by prescription. You got it? Now listen, let me break it down for you, nice and simple. But before I do, what I want to do is this. I want to reintroduce to you what a regular easement is. Ready? A nice regular easement is when somebody has the right to use somebody else's land. Why? Because that right is on title. It was established. It's lawful. It's okay. What am I talking about? We have someone who lives in the front house right on the highway. Got it? Nice and simple. We'll call that house A. Now there's a house behind it, house B. Now the only way the homeowner of house B can get to their house is going through house A's land. So an easement is created. We'll see a nice roadway specifically created just for house B in the back. If that easement didn't exist, house B could never get to his house. Got it? That's an easement done over and out. It was established. It's in the title. It's recorded. Can't do anything about it. Got it? The guy who lives in the front, the one that's serving up that land, it's called the servient tenement. The one that lives in the back and has the right to use that easement is called the dominant tenement. He's dominant. You can't stop me. I'm going to use this easement. And in a nutshell, that's what an easement does. Now, what's a prescriptive easement? Ooh, what's a prescriptive easement? Let's clarify what it means. Ready? Here it goes. Let me give you a scenario. Let's start off with house A. The house A has a huge, massive lawn in the back. We'll call it 2 acres, man. It's massive. 2 acres. And you have a house right next to it. We're going to call that house B. Now, behind both houses is this huge lake. And the homeowner of house B likes to go fishing. And the only way you can get to that pond full of beautiful fish is to either use the highway or take a shortcut. Take a shortcut through whose property? Yeah, through house A's land. He's going to shortcut right through that back acreage because he doesn't want to go all the way around the highway to get to this pond. Nice and simple. So he does that. And every day he goes down that little path that he created to that pond. So now we got this fisherman who's been crossing a land that he does not own, somebody else's land. Now he's been doing it uninterrupted for 5 years minimum. He's been doing it open and notoriously. He's not hiding the fact that he's doing it. He's walking proudly across this guy's land with his fishing pole and his tackle box, with his excitement. He's doing it with hostility. Now, not the hostility you think, where it's aggressive, a battle, confrontational. No, he's doing it with hostility, meaning no one stopped him from doing it. He's done it uninterrupted. And he gets to his lake and he loves it. And guess what? On his return back, he uses that same little path across somebody else's land. Whoa, guess what? This particular fisherman, this particular person, this owner of property B crossing property A's acreage can now create an easement. He has the right to create an easement because it has been done over and over and over again. And property owner A hasn't stopped him, hasn't interrupted him. Prescriptive easement created by open and notorious use of somebody else's land for 5 years minimum, over and over and over with hostility, meaning without permission. No one's ever stopped them. Now listen, let me give you a bit of bonus information. Adverse possession. Adverse possession means you can take somebody else's house by the same exact criteria. However, we're going to add one more requirement, and that requirement is paying the property taxes. Adverse possession is saying, I'm going to go live in somebody else's house, open, notoriously, with hostility. Nobody told me I couldn't. Nobody stopped me for 5 years minimum. And paying the property taxes on that property, this particular person who did it can now technically own the property via adverse possession. Isn't that crazy? It could happen. Adverse possession. So I want you to link those two together. I want you to link prescription easement and the qualifications for adverse possession together. And the only difference is when it comes to adverse possession and owning somebody else's property, their house, you got to pay property taxes. Any easement, prescriptive easement, any easement is a type of encumbrance. You want to know what an encumbrance is? Ooh, new fancy word. Check out this video right here. Encumbrance. You're going to get a lot out of it. We'll see you next week.